Hello grade 9 students. Today I am here to teach you first topic in your second term work, that's chapter 10, direct proportions. We'll see what are the basics you have to learn in this chapter. Ratios. What are ratios? We'll take two measurements. Sheila's height is 120 centimeters. Her brother's height is 150 centimeters. We'll take Sheila's height 120 centimeters. And what about brother's height? 150 centimeters. Now, when I take the division, what happens? This centimeter get cancelled out, and I can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 10. So I can write 12 and 15. Again, divide by 3. I can write 4 and 5. So this is a fraction. Fraction of Sheila's height to brother's height. So I can write this fraction in another way. So we call those are ratios. So I can write this one as 4. Numerator we write first, and the colon symbol is for ratios. So ratios we use the colon symbol and then 4 to 5. Ratio. The first number in the ratio is 4 and the second number in the ratio is 5. So what are ratios? Basically a fraction, another way of writing fractions. Important facts about ratios. If two similar quantities with same units are given, the ratio can be found by dividing one quantity by the other. So Sheila's height with brother's height, somebody's weight with another weight, marks with another mark. So you have to take the same quantity, similar quantities. And when you take ratios, you don't get units. Here, before we found that centimeter and centimeter get cancelled out. So, for ratios, you don't get any units. And what's the other important thing? Ratios cannot be found for different quantities like ratio between height and mass. So, height is one quantity, a different quantity is a mass. So, you can't get a ratio between those two. So, similar quantities should be there and same units. Find the ratio between 150 grams and 1 kilos. Now, both are weights. But what's the problem here? One is in grams and one is in the kilograms. So, you can't just compare those two. So, you have to convert to the same unit. So, it's better to convert to grams. So, I can write 150 grams. That's for one value. What's the other one? 1000, because 1 kilo is 1000 grams. So here you don't need to put the units because this is also grams, this is also grams. So there are no units in ratio. Now you can divide by 10, 15 to 100. Divide by 5, 3 to 20. So what's the ratio? Ratio is 3 to 20. Now take this one, find the ratio between 25 centimeters to 1 meter. Again, units are different, so you have to convert to the same unit. So I'll write this one in same centimeters. 1 meter I can multiply by 100 and write this one here. You don't need to write down the units. Just to show you that both units are the same, I just wrote here. Now I can divide this by 25. 25 times 1. 25 times 4, we know that's 100. So what's the ratio? 1 to 4. So the ratio should be simplified as far as possible. So here this is the simplified form, 1 to 4. A ratio can be multiplied or divided by any number other than 0. Okay, so let's take 2 to 3. I want to multiply this by 2. 2 times 4. I have to do the same thing to the other number. 2 times 3, 6. So I can write 2 to 3 or 4 to 6. I'll multiply this by 3. 3 times 2, 6. Then 3 times 3, 9. So I can write 6 to 9 as well. So what are these ratios? We call these are equivalent ratios, like equivalent fractions. So these are equivalent ratios. 50 to 20. This is ratio can be divided by 2. So we'll divide this by 2. 50 divided by 2, 25. 20 divided by 2, you can write 10. So I can write 25 to 10. Again, I can divide this by 5. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 2. So this is the simplified form, 5 to 2. So this ratio can be divided by 2 or 5 to obtain equivalent fractions. So these are equivalent fractions. If the ratio is written in the simplified form, the highest common factor is 1. So here, take 5 and 2, 5 to 2. What's the highest common factor here? 1 times 5 here, 1 times 2. So the highest common factor here is 1. So you have to check whether you can simplify further and only write down the simplified form. Write down the following ratios in simplified form, 54 and 45. Okay, so at once we can see it's divisible by 3. But it's divisible by 9 as well. So if you can't see that, just divide by 3 first. 3 times 1, 3. So 3 times 8. 3 times 1, 3, 5. Now we can see again we can divide by 3. 3 times 6, 3 times 5. Now we can't simplify, that means that's the simplified form. Somebody will see, okay, I can divide this straight away by 9. 9 times 6, 54, 9 times 5. So it doesn't matter. You can do step by step or at once. 33 and 88, that's easy. You can divide by 11. 11 times 3, 11 times 8. 90 and 75. We see both divisible by 5. So we'll first divide by 5 and see. 5 times 1 and 8. 5 times 1 for 25, that's 5. Now we see it is divisible by 3. 3 times 6 and 3 times 5. So 6 to 5. Write down the following ratio in simplified form. Here, this means 2 to 3 is same as 6 to 9. Now look at this one. 2.3 and 6.9. This is a decimal. So what we can do when you get a decimal? You can get rid of that. Multiply both sides by 10. So what you get? 23 to 69. Now, what's common? You can divide by 23. 23 is a prime number. 23 times 1, 23 times 3. So you get 1 to 3 is the lowest form. Now when you get decimal, First, get rid of the decimal point. Write down the following ratios in simplified form. Look at the ratio here. This is in kilograms, this is in grams. So when the units are different, you have to write down the units. If the units are the same, just two numbers you are getting. That means the ratio is in the same units. Especially when you take scale drawing. So scale is given 1 to 1000. So most of the students are asking why? What is the unit? 1 to 1000 means 1 centimeter to 1000 centimeters. So you have to take the same unit. Okay, so 1 kilos. Convert to grams, that's 1000. This is 400. No need to put the units. Divide by 100, that's 10. Divide by 100, you get 4. Again, you can divide by 2. 5 and 2. So, 5 to 2 is the lowest form or simplified form. Now, centimeter and meter. So, you have to convert. 60, this is 100. Divide by 10, what you get? 6 and 10. Now, divide by 2 again. You get 3 and 5. So, 3 to 5. Months and years. We'll convert to months. 8 months is there. 1 year means 12 months. Half means half of a year, 6 months. So, 12 and 6, altogether 18 months are there. Now, divide by 2, you get 4 and 9. So, 4 to 9 is the lowest form. 400 meters to 1 kilometer. What's the conversion? Multiply by 1000. So, 400 meters to 1000 meters. Divide by 100, you get 4 and 10. Divide by 2 again, you get 2 to 5. So, the lowest simplified form is 2 to 5. Now, we'll look at what are direct proportions. For that, let's take an example. The following table shows the prices of exercise books with the number. So, here 1 book is 40 rupees, 2 books 80, 3 books 120 rupees. So, like that you have given several books, number of books and prices. What can you see when you look at number of books? Number of books increases. Then what happened to the price? Price also increases. As the number of books increases, so does the price accordingly. Now, when you take other way around, the price is decreasing here. The number of books also decreasing. So, here, as the number of books decreases, the price of books also decreases. So, what are direct proportion? If one quantity increases and the other quantity also increases, or when one quantity decreases, the other one also decreases accordingly. So, we call that one is proportionately. Proportionately it's happening. Both are increasing proportionately or both are decreasing proportionately. So, that's why we call these are direct proportion. So, in this one, when you get any two quantities, if one increases, other one also increases. Or if one decreases, other also decreases. So, you need to identify what are examples for direct proportion. So, one increases, other also increases. Ratio between number of books. Now, we'll take the same question. So, ratio between number of books, 2 to 4. So, we'll take these two. They are comparing these two, 2 to 4. Then what about the prices? 80 to 160. That's 80 to 160. Now we'll try to simplify. Divide by 2, you get 1 to 2. Here divide by 10 first. You get 8 and 16. And divide by 8, you get 1 and 2. So what can you see about the ratios? If you take ratio between books or ratio between prices, you are getting the same thing. So ratio between number of books is the same as the ratio between prices. Now we'll take another one, 3 with 5. If you take these two, 3 with 5, what are the prices? 120 and 200. 120 and 200. Now when you divide by 10, you get 12 and 20. Divide by 4, 3 and 5. So what can you see? The ratio between number of books is the same as the ratio between prices. When you take any ratio, either 3, 5 or 2, 4 or 1, 6 even, what happens? The ratio between books is the same as the ratio between prices. In other words, generally when you have two quantities, you get same ratios for both quantities. Now we'll look at some examples. Solve problems of direct proportions by using unitary method. So what is unitary means? 1. If the price of 3 coconuts is this much, 180, find the price of 5 coconuts. So here what we do, we first find out the price of 1 coconut and then think about 5 coconuts. What's the price of 3 coconuts? 180. Then how you find out for 1 coconut? You divide by 3. So you get 60 rupees. Then what about 5 coconuts? You multiply 60 by 5. You get 300 rupees for 5 coconuts. Finding price of 1 unit and then solving problems is called unitary method. Now in science lab, you are using the formula distance over time most of the time. What is distance over time? This means what's the distance travel for 1 unit of time. So what do you call that? That's called speed. So why we are dividing? To find out for 1 unit. So this is basically the speed. So distance traveled, 1 unit of time. So that's how you find out the unitary price. Take this example. The price of 12 ice creams is 720. So 12 is 720. Find the price of 7. Before that, we'll find out the price of 1 ice cream. 720 divided by 12. So you get 60 rupees. 1 ice cream is 60 rupees. What about 7 ice creams? So you get 420 rupees. The price of 9 shirts is 5,400. Price of 9 is 5,400. Find the price of 11. So before that we need to find out for 1 shirt. So 5,400 divided by 9. You get 600 rupees. If 1 shirt is 600, what about 11 shirts? You have to multiply by 11. You get 6,600 rupees. Look at this example. A motor car can travel a distance of 51 kilometers with 3 liters of petrol. Find the distance that car can travel with 7 liters of petrol. So all these examples, direct proportion. Why? This is distance traveled increases, the amount of petrol you need is also increases. So that's why this is direct proportion. So what's the distance traveled with 3 liters of petrol? 51 kilometers. And then for 1 liter, the distance traveled is, you divide by 3. So you get 3 times 1, 3, 7. So 17 kilometers for 1 liter. What about 7 liters? You multiply this by 7. 7 times 7, 49. 7 times 1, 7. 7 plus 4, 11. So 119 kilometers. The mass of 13 meter wire is 65 kilos. Find the mass of 17 meter of same wire. So what's the mass of 13 meter wire? That's 65 kilos. So what is mass of 1 meter wire? You need to divide by 13. So multiply by 5, you get 5 kilos. And mass of 70, so 5, that's for 1 meter multiplied by 17. 5 times 7, 35. 5 times 1, 5 plus 3, 8. So 85 kilos. Now we'll look at another method to solve problems. Solving direct proportional problems using algebraic terms. So first what we do, we write down the ratio. And then observe this one. When you multiply the first one with the last one, what you get? 3 times 35 here. When you take the inside numbers, 7 times 50. Multiply and see, 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 3, 9 plus 1, 10. 7 times 5, 35. 7 times 1, 7 plus 3, 10. Can you say these two are equal? So we use that property to solve problems. Look at this ratio, x to y, p to q. So what you do? We multiply x with q. So xq. What about this side? Inside, y with p, py. So these are equal. And this is second one. Okay, so what happens here? Same thing. A with y. Ay. B with x here. Bx. So ay should be equal to bx. So when you are given, here also same thing. When you are given two ratios to solve problems, you can multiply first one with last and the inside numbers and equate. So we'll use this method to solve problems. Now look at this question. Price of 7 mangoes is 280. So this is ratio between number of mangoes. So 7, and here what's the price? Find the price of 11 mangoes. So this should be 11. This is the given one. This is the one we need to find. And the price is 280. So we can put x for that. Then what you do? You can write separately. 7 to 11 is 282 x. Then you multiply 7 with x. What you get? 7x. 11 times 280. What's the value? 11 times 0, 0. 11 times 8, 88. 8 remaining. 11 times 2, 22. Plus 8, 30. So 7x is 3080. How can we find x? Divide this by 7. So when you divide 3 times, here 7 times. 7 times 4, 28. 2 remaining, that's 4. So 440 rupees for 11 mangoes. Another example, an item bought at a price of 400 should be sold to get a 20% of profit. Find the selling price. So what are the two things you need? So one is selling price and the other one is buying price. Now you know if you buy for 100 to get a 20% profit, what's the selling price? 100 plus 20, 120. So we use that one. So buying price is 100, then selling price should be 120. Then if the buying price is 400, what's the selling price? You can put X. Then what you do? Here you can write the ratio 100 to 400. This is ratio between buying prices. This is ratio between selling prices, and then you can write this one and multiply 100 into X. Here 400 into 120. So what you get? 100x is equal to 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros and multiply by 4. 8 and 4. 48,000. Now divide by 100. You get x equals 480. So what it means? That's the selling price when the buying price is 400. So we can write down, so the selling price is 480 rupees. Look at this one. An item bought for 600 rupees suffered a loss of 20%. Find the selling price. Now, if the buying price is 100, if there's 20% loss, what's the selling price? You have to subtract 20, 80 rupees. If the buying price is 100, this is 80. Then you are asked to find out the selling price if the buying price is 600. Now, what's the ratio between buying prices? 100 to 600. You have to write in order. If you write this one first, you have to write this also first. 80 to x. Then multiply 100 with x. 600 with 80. So 100x equals 1, 2, 3, 8 times 6, 48. Divide by 100. X equals 480. So selling price is 480. Now we are trying to use another method, solving problems using algebraic equations. So let's take this one. The price of 7 apples is 210. 11 apples given 330. Now we'll take, if the number of apples is x, the price is y. You can take any letter. So if this is x, this is y. Now just take the ratio here. When you divide these two, what happens? 210 divided by 7, you get 30. When you take this one, 330 divided by 11, you get the same value. So, because of this, we can write an equation. How can we write down? I can write y value divide by the x value, I get 30 because this is a constant value. So, here this equation, so when you cross multiply, what you get? I get y equals 30x. So, this is an equation. Using this equation also we can solve problems. From this equation can find y values for given x values. After that you can substitute. If you want x is number of apples, 5 apples the price, just substitute 5. 10 apples multiplied by 10, 30 multiplied by 10. So, when you have an equation, by substituting the x values, you can find out the other quantity. So, here again the same thing. If x is 1, we substitute 1 and you get the price for y, that's 30. If this is 2, substitute here 2, you get 60. 3, you get 90, 120, 150 and 180. So, what's the general equation? Y equals kx. Here in this example, k is 30. So, if you can form an equation like this, we can easily solve direct proportions. Let's take another example. Price of 11 pence is 220 rupees. Find the price of such 17 pence. So, what are the two quantities? Number of pence and price. 11 is 220. 17 we need to find. So, this is what we need to find out. So, if this is x, this is y, then you can write an equation, y equals kx. Now, we need to find out k. So, how we can find out k? By substituting the values. So, this is the given one. So, we know if this is 11, x is 11, the y value is 220. So, from this we can first find out k. So, divide by 11, you get k equals 20. Now, we found out k. So, what's the equation now? K is 20 means y equals 20x is the equation. Now, what's the question? We want to find out the price of such 17 pence. So, if this is 17, x is 17, we need the y value. So, what we do, you substitute 17 here. So, multiply by 20 means put a 0 and multiply by 2. 2 times 7, 14 and 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3. So, 340 rupees. So, the price of 17 pence is 340 rupees. Price of 12 pencils is 360. So, 12, so this is number of pence and this is the price. These are the two quantities. You are asked to find out the price for 19 pence. So, we can use the equation y equals kx. From the given information, you can find out the k value. So, divide this by 12. 12 times 6. So, 30 is k. Now, we found out k equals 30. Now, you can use the equation. What's the equation? Y equals 30x is the equation for this question, and you are asked to find out the price of 19 pence. So, substitute 19 for x and find the y value. Multiply by 3, put 0 first. 3 times 9, 27. 3 times 1, 3 plus 2, 5. So 570 rupees. Now we'll take another one. Take this question. If the price of 21 eggs is 420 rupees, how many eggs can buy for 300 rupees? Now other way around. So this is eggs and the price. 21 eggs, 420 rupees. Now the price is given and you are asked to find out the number of eggs. So same thing, you first write down the equation, but now the values for y is given, you are asked to find out the x value. So how you find k? We can take this equation. When x equals 21, y value is 420. Divide this by 21 to get k value. So k equals 20. Now k equals 20 means you can use the equation y equals 20x. Now you are asked to find out the x value. Y value is given. Y is 300 and you are asked to find x. Divide by 20. So what is x? X equals 30 divided by 2 is 15. So what it means? 15 means 15 eggs is equal to 300 rupees. So this is number of eggs. Look at this one. Find k for below equations and then find x and y. 3 to 156, 7 to this. So this is x and y given. So y equal kx. So you can use this information to find out k. So y equals 156 and k here x is 3. Divide by 3. 3 times 5 and 3 times 2. So this is k. So k equals 52. Now what's the equation? 52x. Y equals 52x. Now we need when x equals 7. So 52 times 7. What's the y value? 7 times 2, 14. 7 times 5, 35 plus 1, 36. So this is about a price. So we don't know any quantity. Just write down y equals 364. This one 8 to 512. This is x. This is y. So substitute this information. This side is x. So y value is 512 is k times 8. Divide by 8, what you get? So 8 times what is 59? So 8 times 6, 48. So 51 minus 48, 3. So for 32, that's 4. So 64 is equal to k. So you can find k equals 64. Now what's the equation? Y equals 64x. Now what's the question? Y is given 128 and you are asked to find out the x value. So that means you have to divide by 64. So what's the value? Multiply by 2. You get 128. So 2 is equal to x. In a scale drawing, 3 centimeters represent 75 meters. Find the actual distance representing 5 centimeters. So here scale is there for the drawing. Here the actual length. This is in meters. So you are asked to find this value. What's the first step? Substitute. Y is 75, x equals 3. Divide by 3 to get k. K equals 3 times 2, 6 and 5. So 25. K equals 25. Now substitute k here in the equation. Y equals kx, 25x. Now the question asks, if x equals 5, find the value. So substitute 5 there. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 2, 10. 10 plus 2, 12. So 125 meters, because the distance is in meters. Now we need to look at foreign currency. So what are foreign currency? So when you take countries, each country has its own currency. What we use here? We use rupees. India also, they use rupees, but we are using Sri Lankan rupees and India use Indian rupees. Do you think that's the same thing? No. So our currency multiplied by 3 times, you get the Indian currency nowadays. So you need to think about currency, exchanging currency to another value. Because when you go abroad, can you use Sri Lankan rupees there? They are not accepting. So you need to convert Sri Lankan rupees to either dollars or whatever the currency the other countries are using, and that amount you have to take when you are going abroad. And also, why Sri Lankans are going abroad to work? Our currency is very low. Now, when they get a low salary, but when they are converting the value to Sri Lankan rupees, it's a huge amount. So they are getting a small salary in other countries. When they come here, that's a lot. So that's why we need to learn currency exchange. So we call the currency exchange rate. So these are the rates given, but these are not the rates now. When it comes to dollars, this is not the value now. Now like 190 something. Earlier it was 200 something. So you get different currency values. Every day this currency value rate is changing. So this is from a book. That's not the currency now. But for examples and to do exercises, we can use these currencies. In your textbook also, not the latest one. So you can use whatever the currency given and do the sums. Now we'll see what are the currencies the other countries use. United States, American dollars. England, sterling pound. European Union, euros. Japan, yens. India, Indian rupees. Saudi Arabia, Saudi riyal. And Singapore, Singapore dollars. This dollar and this dollar, totally different. Now we'll see how we can convert one currency to another. Look at this question. On a day that the exchange rate is 107.60 for a Singapore dollar, how many Sri Lankan rupees will a person who converts 500 Singapore dollars receive? So you need to find out in Sri Lankan rupees. The rate is given. 1 Singapore dollar is 107.60. Then we need to find out for 500. So what we do, this is for unitary value. So you can multiply this by 500. So you are getting the answer in rupees. Let's multiply by 50. Not 50, 500. Here 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros are there. Now multiply by 5. 5 times 6, 30. 3 remaining. 5 times 7, 35 plus 3, 38. 3 remaining. You can put here, and 5 times 1, 5. Now think about the decimal place. 2 places we need to keep. 1, 2. So decimal point comes here. So what's the actual value? 53,800 rupees. So we can write 53,800 rupees. So this means 500 Singapore dollars is equal to 53,800 Sri Lankan rupees. So see the difference? 500 there. Our currency is 53,800. Look at this one. Siridasa exchanged 185.976 rupees to American dollars for a trip. Find number of American dollars he received. So what's the rate? You need American dollars to this one. So the exchange rate you have to refer. So we'll look at American dollars and rupees. American dollars with rupees here 151.2. So we'll use that 151.2. So that's 1 American dollar, 151.20 rupees. Then you need this way. Siridasa exchange received this one to American dollars for a trip. So the other way around, we can find out. Receipt 151.2 rupees means 1 American dollar and we need 485.976. So what you do? 1 divide by this value multiplied by 185.976. Now we can divide these two. So what is the first step? You can get rid of the decimal. Here this 0 you can ignore. You can multiply by 10. 1,512. Multiply by 10 you get 1,859.76. So we'll divide now. We'll divide 1,859.76 divide by 1,512. Here 1. When you subtract, you get 7, 4, 3. 347. Take this one. 7. So here this is 1. And point sign is there, so you need to put the sign. Then how many are there? Multiply by 2. Yeah, so this is twice. So put 2. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 5, 10. 1 remaining. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3. So you get 3, 5, 4. Now consider 6. This is like multiplied by 3. 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 5, 15, 3 times 1, 3 plus 1. So you get exactly 3. So what's the amount getting for 185.976 rupees? So you are getting 1.23 American dollars. Look at this question. Rasika, working in Saudi Arabia, sends 240 Saudi riyal to her mother from her salary. If the exchange rate of a Saudi riyal is 40 rupees and 60 cents, how many rupees does her mother receive? So what is value of 1 riyal? The currency rate, exchange rate is given 40 rupees and 60 cents. And for 240 riyals, so you need to multiply this by 240. So we can put 2 zeros and multiply by 24. So what's 24 times 6? 144. We'll write 4 and take 14 to the other side. Then 24, this is 0, 0. 14 is there, another 4 and 1, you can take it to the next level. So 24 times 4, 96, and the other one 97. So when you think about 2 decimal places, so what's the value? 9,744 rupees. Next question. A wholesale trader sends a stock of areca nuts worth 131,080 rupees to India. If the exchange rate of an Indian rupee is 2.26, how many Indian rupees does he receive? What is value of 1 Indian rupee? It's given 2.26. Value of 131,000, this means you multiply this by that. So we can multiply 2.26 multiplied by 131080. So we'll multiply and see. 131080 multiplied by 226. 226. Put 2 zeros and multiply by 2. 2 times 8, 16. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 1, 2. Multiply by 20 means put 0, 0 and then same answer you are getting. Multiply by 6 now. 6 times 0. 6 times 8, 48. 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 3, 18. 1 remaining. 6 times 1, 6 plus 1, 7. So when you add it, 6 and 6, 12 plus 1, 13. 13 plus 1, 14. 1 remaining, 9, 10, 12. 1 remaining there. 14, 15, 16. And 1 remaining there, 7 plus 2, 9. And then don't forget to put 2 decimals. So keep 2 decimal place and put the sign here, the decimal point. What's the value? 296,240 and 80 cents. This one. Rana Singha, who works in Italy, receives a monthly salary of 2,200 euros. If the exchange rate of 1 euro is 176.40 cents, what is his salary in Sri Lankan rupees? So what's the exchange rate? Value of 1 euro is 176.40. So we need for 2,200. So multiply by 2,200. So we can put 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros. And multiply by 22. 22 times 4, 88. 8 remaining. 22 times 6, 132, this 840, 14 remaining. Then we need 22 times 7. What is 22 times 7? 154 and this 14. When you add it, you get 168. So put 8 and 16. You have to take it to this level. So 22 times 1, 22. 22 plus 16, 38. So what's this value? And make sure that you put 2 decimals here. Decimal point is here. Value is 388,080 rupees. This question, the price of an electric fan in Japan is 4,488 yen. If the exchange rate of Japanese yen is 1.36 rupees, what is the price of the fan in Sri Lankan rupees? So what's the exchange rate? 1 yen means 1.36 rupees. So value of this much of yens, you just multiply by 4,488. Now we'll multiply 4,488 multiplied by 1.36 means multiply by 136 and then put 2 decimal places. 100, 30 and 6. 2 zeros and multiply by 1. Here 1 0 and multiply by 3. 3 times 8, 24 and 24 plus 2, 26. 3 times 4, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 1 remaining. 3 times 4, 12. 12 plus 1, 13. 6 times 8, 48. 6 times 8, 48 plus 4, what's that? 52. 52, 5 remaining. And then 6 times 4, 24. 24 plus 5, 29. 2 remaining again. 6 times 4, 24 plus 2, 26. Then add it together. 6, 9 plus 8, 17. 17 plus 6, you get 23. And 2 remaining. 10 and 10, 20. 2 remaining again. 4 plus 3, 7. 7 plus 4, 11. 1 remaining. 4, 5, 6. And put 2 decimal places here from the right to left. So what's the value? You get 6,103 and 68 cents. Take this example. Anil, working in Saudi Arabia, sends his mother 600 Saudi riyal. And brother Akila, working in Italy, sends mother 400 euros. Find the total amount received by the mother. So the separate exchange rates are given. First we'll find out the value sent by Anil. That's 600 Saudi riyal. 600 Saudi riyal. 1 riyal is 40 rupees and 35 cents. So we can find out this one in rupees. Put 2 zeros and multiply by 6. 6 times 5, 30. 6 times 3, 18. Plus 3, 21. 2 remaining. So here 2 there. 6 times 4, 24. And make sure that you put 2 places here to the left. So that's 24,210. Now let's take the other value, Akila. Akila sent 400 euros and 1 euro worth 165 rupees. So this is the amount that Akila sent. Put 2 zeros and multiply by 4. 4 times 5, 20. 2 remaining. 4 times 6, 24. Plus 2, 26. 2 remaining. 4 times 1, 4. 4 plus 2, 6. And that's 66,000 rupees. So what's the total amount? You have to add this. 24,210 and 66,000 rupees. Add these two, 0, 1, 2, 10 and then 9. So what's the value? 90,210. So that's the total amount. Mr. Perera, who goes to Singapore on business, takes with him 8,000 Singapore dollars and 3,000 American dollars. Find out how much it cost him in Sri Lankan rupees. So what is value spent for Singapore dollars? That's 8,000 Singapore dollars. What's $1? 107.30. Find out the value. 1, 2, 3 and another 0. Now multiply by 8. 8 times 3, 24. 8 times 7, 56 plus 2, 58. 5 remaining. So put 5 there. 8 times 1, 8. So 2 places when you keep, you get 858,400. That's in rupees. Value spent for American dollars. So 3,000 American dollars, each worth 151.20. So what's the amount in rupees? 1, 2, 3 and this 0 multiply by 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 1, 3. 15. 1 remaining. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So 2 places. Keep. What's the value? 453,600 rupees. So what's the total amount? You can add these two. So 858,400 plus 453,600 rupees. When you add it together, so you get 1 million. Here we call this is 1 million. 1,312,000 rupees. This is in rupees. This one, a businessman who exported a stock of betel worth 77,380 received 5,300 Pakistan rupees. Find the exchange rate. Now, this sum is different to what we did before. You are asked to find out the exchange rate. So, we'll find out. So, what's this? 77,380 and 5,300. So, 5,300 Pakistan rupees is 77,380 Sri Lankan rupees. Now we need for 1 Pakistan rupee. So 1 Pakistan rupee means you divide this by 5,300. So 1 0 you can cut, divide by 10. Now divide 7738, divide by 530. 1, that's 530. Then 428. So multiply by 4. 4 0, 12, 20 and 1, 21. You get 1, 3. So 318. Now you can find another decimal point. So multiply by 6. 6 times 0, 0, 18 and 6 times 5, 30 and 31. You get exactly this. So 14.6. So exchange rate, that means 1 Pakistan rupee is equal to 1 Pakistan rupee is equal to 14.6 rupees. So that's the exchange rate. Now we'll look at the exercise 10.1. For each of the cases given below, write whether the two quantities are directly proportional or not. The number of books and the price. We know those are direct proportions. When number of books increases, the amount, also the price also increases. So this is direct. The distance travelled by an object moving at a constant speed and the time taken for the journey. Distance increases, the time also increases. So that's direct. The speed of a vehicle and the time taken to travel a certain distance. When speed increases, the time taken is reducing, not increasing. So that's like when speed increases, the other decreases. So that's not direct. The length of a side of a square and its perimeter. Length increases, the perimeter also increases. So that's direct. The length of side of a square and its area. Length increases, the area covered is also increases. So this is direct. And the number of people needed to finish a task and the number of days taken for it. So when the number of people increases, the time taken for that is decreases. So that's not direct. The number of units of electricity consumed by a household and the monthly bill. So number of units increases, the monthly bill also increases. So that's direct. So you know how to identify direct proportions when one quantity increases and the other quantity also increases or both decreases. We call those are direct proportions. Example number 1. If a person walking at a constant speed takes 5 minutes to walk 800 meters, calculate the distance he walks in 12 minutes. So what are the two quantities? a person walking at a constant speed takes 5 minutes. That's the time. 5 minutes to walk 800 meters. So that's distance. Calculate the distance he walks in 12 minutes. So here you need to find out this. So we can use unitary method. We'll find out for 1 minute and then multiply by 12 to get the distance traveled for 12 minutes. So we'll take distance traveled for 5 minutes is equal to 800 meters. So distance traveled for 1 minute, you divide by 5. So you get 660 meters. Now we can find out the distance traveled for 12 minutes multiplied by 12. 0, 12 times 6, 72. 7, 12 times 1, 12, 12 plus 7, 19. So you get 1920 meters. Example number 2. If the mass of 10 identical balls used in a cricket match is 3 kilos, what is the mass of 3 such balls? So number of balls and the mass. 10 identical balls is 3 kilos. And they are asking 3 balls, what's the mass? So we'll find for 1 ball and multiply by 3. So mass of 10 balls, 3 kilos. So we can convert to grams. So we'll write 3000 grams. So what is mass of 1 ball? 3000 divided by 10. 300 grams. And what's the mass of 3 balls? Multiply by 3. So 900 grams. Exercise 10.2. If the price of 8 oranges is 320 rupees, find the price of 5 such oranges. So this is price and the number. 8 oranges, 320. 5 you need to find out. So we'll find out for 1 and then multiply by 5. So price of 8 oranges, 320 rupees. Price of 1 orange, 320 divided by 8, so 40 rupees. And price of 5 oranges, 40 multiplied by 5. So you get 200 rupees. Question number 2. If the price of 5 meter of a certain fabric is 750 rupees, find the price of 12 meters. So we'll first find price of 5 meter is 750 given. And we can find price of 1 meter. 750 divided by 5. So you get 1 5 zeros, 150 rupees. And the price of 12 meters multiplied by 12. So 12 times 0, 12 times 5, 60. 6 remaining. 12 times 1, 12. 12 plus 6, 18. So 1,800 rupees. If the mass of a parcel containing 15 apples is this 3.6 kilograms, find the mass of a parcel containing 8 such apples. This is number of apples and mass. 15 apples, 3.6 kilos will convert to grams, 3,600 grams. And you are asked to find out the mass of 8 apples. So this is the question. So we can write mass of 15 apples is 3,600 grams and mass of 1 apple you divide by 15. 15 times 2, 30. For 60, that's 4. 240 grams for 1 apple. So what's the mass of 8 apples multiplied by 8? So you get 0, 32, 8 times 2, 16. 16 plus 3, 90. 1,920 grams. Question number 4. If a printing machine makes 240 copies in 5 minutes, determine the number of copies it makes in 12 minutes. So this is minutes and number of copies. 240 copies within 5 minutes, and you are asked to find out how many copies in 12 minutes. So we'll find out number of copies in 5 minutes. 240. Number of copies in 1 minute, you divide by 5. 48. In number of copies in 12 minutes, multiply this by 12. 48 times 12. Multiply 10 and 2 and multiply by 2, 16, 8 plus 1, 9. 576. So 576 copies within 12 minutes. If a motor vehicle moving at a constant speed travels 12 kilometers in 15 minutes, calculate the distance it travels in 40 minutes. So this is distance and time. Those are the two quantities. It says 15 minutes, 12 kilometers. And for 40 minutes you need to find. So we'll find for 1 minute and then multiply by 40. So you can write distance in 15 minutes. So what's the distance in 15 minutes? That's 12 kilometers. Then find distance in 1 minute. Distance in 1 minute is you divide by 15, and for 40 minutes you multiply this by 40. Here later you can simplify. Now we can see 12 and 40 in the numerator and 15 in the denominator. 3 times 4, 3 times 5, 5 times 8, 8 times 4, 32. So 32 kilometers. Question number 6. If a motorbike can travel 90 kilometers on 2 liters of petrol, find the distance it can be traveled on 5 liters of petrol. So we can write distance traveled for 2 liters of petrol, that's 90 kilometers. Then we'll find out the distance traveled for 1 liter. 90 divided by 2, that's 45 kilometers. Now we can find out for 5 liters. Distance traveled for 5 liters, 45 multiplied by 5. 225 kilometers. So all these we use the unitary method. We just find one value and then multiply for the given one. Question number 7. If the time taken for a tank of capacity 1000 liters to be filled using a pump that released water at a constant rate is 5 minutes. Find the time taken in seconds to fill a tank of capacity 1600 liters. It says 1000 liter tank. To fill you need 5 minutes. So convert this to seconds because the other one given is in seconds because you are asked to find in seconds. So multiply by 60, 300 seconds. Then you need to fill 1600 liter capacity. What's the time? First we find out for 1, that's 300 divide by 1000 and multiplied by 1600 to get the value. So here numerator is this, divide by 1000. 2 zeros get cancelled out and 1 0. So put a 0 and multiply by 3. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So this is about the time, that's 480 seconds. Example number 1. If the price of 5 mangoes is 75 rupees, find the price of 8 mangoes. Now we have to take this one as x and using an equation you can find out the value. Okay, so this is about mangoes and the price. It says 5 mangoes, 75 rupees and you need 8 mangoes. You need the price. So let's take the price of 8 mangoes as x. So we need x. Now how you show the working with arrows? So you can take the ratio between mangoes 5 to 8. This is the ratio between mangoes. And the ratio between price is 75 to x. So first you can write down that. And then what you do? multiply the corner values and the inside values. Those are equal. 5 times x, 5x, 8 times 75. So 600. So x equals 600 divided by 5, you get 120. So what is x means? The price of 8 mangoes. So 120 rupees. Example number 2. Find the price at which an item bought for 500 should be sold to earn a profit of 15%. So that means when you buy for 100, to get a profit, you have to sell it for 115. So find the price at which they bought for 500. So buying price and the selling price. We know that to get a profit of 15%, if this is 100, this should be 150. And an item bought for 500. And we need to find out the selling price. We'll put x. Then what you do, the ratio between buying price is 100 to 500. That's equal to the ratio between selling prices. Then how you multiply? Last one with last one and the 2 inside values. 100 into x, 100x, 500 into 115. So put 2 zeros and multiply by 5. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 1, 5 plus 2, 7. And 5 times 1, 5. So what's x? Divide by 100. 2 zeros get cancelled out and you get 575. That's the selling price. Exercise 10.3. For each of the proportions given below, write the suitable value in the blank space. Here, some values you can easily find out. These are equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions or equivalent ratios. Here, 2 becomes 8. That means multiply by 4. So you have to do the same thing. 5 times 4, 20. Here, 4 becomes 20. Multiplied by 5. That means 3 times 5, 50. 5 becomes 40, multiplied by 8. So you do the same thing, 8 times 3, 24. 1 becomes 8, multiplied by 8. So 4 times 8, 32. 8 and 24. 8 times 3. So this way multiplication, so this way division. 15 divided by 3, you get 5. Here 6 and 30. 30 becomes 6 by dividing 30 by 5. 35 divided by 5, you get 7. So these all are equivalent ratios. Solve each problem given below using proportions by first drawing an arrow diagram and then writing an algebraic equation. Okay, so we'll take first one. If the price of 10 kilos of rice is 850, find the price of 7 kilos of rice. So here I can write what's the ratio between this one, the mass, 10 and 7. I can write straight away the ratio between masses 10 and 7. So what's the ratio between prices? 10 is 850 and you need to find out x. X is the price we need to find. Now, what we do? We multiply the last two values and the inside value. Those are equal. 10 times x, 10x is equal to 7 times 850. Put a 0 and multiply by 7. 7 times 5, 35. 7 times 8, 56. 56 plus 3, 59. And to find out x, you need to divide by 10. So 595 is the price of 7 kilos of rice. If the mass of 9 cubic centimeter of a certain type of metal is 108 grams, find the mass of 12 cubic centimeters of this metal. So mass and what are the two quantities? Mass and the volume. So we can write down 9 and 12. Those are the ratios between volume. 9 cubic centimeters to 12. So 9 is 108. We'll put x for what we need to find. Now, arrow diagram, multiply these two and multiply these two. 9 times x, 9x. 12 times 108. To find out x, you need to divide this by 9. So what's the value? 3 times 3, 3 times 4. And 3 times 3, 9. For 18, that's 6. 36 times 4. 144 grams. So the mass of volume 12 cubic centimeters of metal is 144 grams. If the distance traveled in 4 hours by a motorbike moving at a constant speed is 240 kilometers, find the distance traveled by it in 3 hours. So what's the ratio between hours, the time? 4 to 3. This is the time. What's the ratio between distances? So 4 hours by a motor moving at a constant speed is 240. So this is 242. We'll put x there. Now according to the diagram, we can multiply these two. 4 times x, 4x is equal to 3 times 240. So what's x? Divide by 4. So x is equal to 4 times 6 here. 3 times 6, 18. So 180. And this is about a distance. So kilometers. This is 180 kilometers. Find the amount needed to buy an item worth 800 from a shop which offers a discount of 3%. Discount means when you buy for 100, this is 97 rupees. So find the amount needed to buy an item worth 800 from a shop. So you need to find out this, and here 800. So what's the value? So we'll take the ratio between the price, that's 100 to 800. What's the ratio between the price? Here the selling price, 97 to x. Now using the arrow diagram, we can multiply like this. 100x equals 800 into 97. So how you find x? Divide by 100. X is equal to 8 times 7, 56. 5 remaining. 8 times 9, 72. 72 plus 5, 77. So 776 rupees is the price after the 3% discount. If a commission of 12% is given when an item is sold, what is the commission given for an item worth 15,000 rupees? So here 12% commission. If this is 100, you are getting 12% commission. And if it's 15,000, you are asked to find out this value. So you need to find out this value. So we can write down the ratio between buying prices. So 100 to 15,000, and the commission ratio between commission 12 and x. Now we'll use the method. Multiply. So 100 times x, 100x is equal to 12 times 15,000. How you find x? Divide by 100. 2 zeros get cancelled out. X is equal to 12 times 0, 0. 12 times 5, 60. 6 remaining. 12 times 1, 12. 12 plus 6, 18. So 1,800 is the commission value. This part, if the price of 4 pencils is 48 rupees, find the number of pencils that can be bought for 132 rupees. So what's the ratio between prices? 48 and 132. What's the ratio between number of pencils? 4 pencils to x. That's what we need to find. Now use the method. When you multiply 48 times x, 48 times x, 48x is equal to 4 times 132. Now how we find out x? Divide by 48. 4 times 1, 4 times 12. So when you divide by 12, 12 times 1 and another 12, that's 1. So x equals 11 means we can buy 11 pencils for 132 rupees. If the price of 12 bottles is 4,800, find the number of bottles that can be bought for 6,000 rupees. So what's the ratio between prices? 4,800 to 6,000. And what's the ratio between number of bottles? 12 to x. When you use multiplication like this, you get 4,800. X is equal to 12 times 6,000. To find x, what you do? You divide this by 4,800. 2 zeros get cancelled out. Divide by 4, 3 and 12. And again 3 times 4. Now 60. 60 divided by 4. 4 times 1, 4. For 20, that's 5. So that means 15 bottles worth 6,000 rupees. Example number 1. If the price of 3 exercise books is 75 rupees, find the price of 5 such exercise books. Let us take the number of books as x and the price as y. So we'll use the equation method. So what's the equation for direct proportion? Y equals kx. Now y is the price. So I'll write down separately price and x is the number of books. 3 exercise books, 75 rupees. 5 such books, you are asked to find out the value. Number of books is x and this is y. Now we need to find the y value when x equals 5. So before that we can find out the constant k using this information. Substitute y equals 75 when x equals 3. So find k, divide by 3. K equals 3 times 2, 6 and here 5. K is 25. So what's the equation? Y equals 25x. Now the equation is y equals 25x. Now we need to find out the price for 5 books. So substitute 5 in x. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 2, 10. 10 plus 2, 12. So 125 rupees. Example number 2. If a vendor sells an item he bought for 500 rupees such that he earns a profit of 20%. Determine the selling price of the item. So buying price is 100. What's the selling price? Profit of 20% means 120. And if the buying price is 500, what's the value? So we'll put this is x and this is y. So what's the equation? Y equals kx. We can use this information to find out k value. Selling price, that's y is 120. This is 100. So what's k value? Divide by 100. 1.2. Now we know the equation is y equals 1.2x. So what we need? We need when x equals 500. So substitute 500 for x. 2 zeros. 5 times 2, 10. 5 times 1, 5 plus 1, 6. So 6, 3 zeros and then put 1 0. So y is 600. So what it means? If the buying price is 500, selling price is 600 rupees. Exercise 10.4. Do the problems in this exercise using the algebraic equation method. If the price of 3 shirts is 1200. So shirts and the price. 3 shirts 1200. 5 shirts we need to find out. We'll put x here and y here. What's the equation? Y equals kx. Substitute this in the equation and find out the k value. 1200 is k times 3. Divide by 3 to get k value. 400. Now the equation is y equals 400x. So what we need when x equals 5, value of y. So substitute 5 there. 5 times 4, 20 and 2 zeros. So y is about a price. So 2000 rupees. if the daily wage of 8 laborers who are paid equal wages is 7,200, find the daily wage of 3 laborers. So number of laborers and the daily wage. So 7,200. And if it's 3, you need to find out. We'll put x here and y. So what's the equation? Y equals kx. So y is 7,200 when x equals 8. Divide by 8 to get k. 8 times 9, so 900. What's the equation? 900x is equal to y. Now we need to find out the y value when x equals 3. Substitute. So this is about a wage, so that's the rupees. So 2,700 rupees. If a distance of 25 meters is represented by 5 centimeter on a map drawn to scale, find the actual distance represented by 8 centimeter on this map. So 5 centimeter of the map is 25 meters actual. They are asking if this is 8 centimeters, what's the actual measurement? So we can put x here and y here. So what's the equation? Y equals kx. Substitute these values and find out k. This is y side. So 25 is when x equals 5. Divide this by 5. You get 5 here for k. Now, what's the equation? Y equals 5x. Now you need to find out the y value when x equals 8. So 40. What is this? This is about actual measurement. This is 40 meters. If a machine in a factory produces 7,500 drink bottles in 5 hours, find the number of drink bottles it produces in 7 hours. So you need to first write down the variables properly. This is number of bottles, 7,500. How many hours? That's 5 hours. Find the number of drink bottles it produces in 7 hours. So this is the value you need to find out. We'll put this is y and this is x. So what's the equation? Y equals kx. Substitute. Y is 7,500. K into 5. Divide this by 5. You get 1,500 is equal to k. So what's the equation? 1,500x. So what's the question? When x equals 7, find out the y value. Substitute 7 there. When you multiply, you get 10,500. So this is about number of bottles. So 10,500 bottles. A bookstore offers a discount of 8% on every book that it purchased. Find the amount a person has to pay if he purchases books worth 1,200. So this is a discount. If this buying price is, the marked price is 100, when you are given a discount, what's the price, selling price? 92 rupees, 100 minus 8. And they are asking if the book's worth 1,200, what's the price? We'll put this is y, or we can use the other way around as well. So if this is y, x or xy doesn't matter. We'll put y here and x here. Now, y equals kx. Use the value. So, y side is here. 100 is equal to k times 92. So, you get a fraction there. So, you can use other way around as well. No need to simplify. Now, how you find out the value? Y equals, this is x. Now, you are asked to find out the x value when y is given 1200. This is other way around. It's easy if you take this is y and this is x, but doesn't matter. You can take x and y for any quantity. So 1200, 100 over 92x. So what's x? We need to do opposite thing. So this divided by 92 means multiply by 92 and divide by 100. Two zeros get cancelled out, so you multiply by 12. 92 multiplied by 12, 10 and 2. When you add it, 1104. So x is equal to 1104. What about x? X is the price after the discount. So this is rupees. So 1104. So this is the foreign currency that you are using from the textbook. So this is American dollar worth 151.20 rupees. So like that we are referring this exchange rates to do the exercises. So here this is from 2017. So now the rates are different, but for exercises we can use this chart. Example number 1. On a day that the exchange rate is 151 rupees for an American dollar, how many Sri Lankan rupees will a person who converts 50 American dollars? So the rate is given 1 American dollar is 151 rupees. Now they are asking for 50 American dollars. So what you do? 151 multiplied by 50. Put 0 and multiply by 5. 5, 25, 2 remaining. 5 times 1, 5 plus 2, 7. So 7,550 rupees. Example number 2. A person visiting England converted 74,000 rupees into sterling pounds on a day when the exchange rate was 185. For a sterling pound, how many sterling pounds did he receive? So, 1 sterling pound is 185 rupees. So, we can write other way around. 185 rupees is 1 sterling pound. So they are asking if this is 74,000, what's the value? 1 divided by 185 into 74,000. So this is basically 74,000 divided by 185. So we'll just divide by 5 and see. 5 times 3, 15. 35, that's 7. 5 times 1, 5. For 24, that's 4. And for 40, that's 8. 0, 0. Divide by 37. 14,800 divide by 37. 4 times 7, 28. 2 remaining. 4 times 3, 12 plus 2, 14. So you get 400 sterling pounds. Exercise 10.5. Do the following exercise by using the exchange rate table given earlier. If the monthly salary of a person working in a foreign country is 1,005 American dollars, what is his salary in Sri Lankan rupees? So we need to find out the exchange rate. So exchange rate is 1 American dollar is, can you remember? 151 and 20 cents. We'll look at it again. One is there, 151.20. So that's the value. Now it says 1,500 American dollars. So that means multiply 151 and 20 cents by 1,500. 0, 0, 0 and multiply by 15. 1,512 multiplied by 50, 10 and 5. You get this one by multiplying this by 1. Now multiply by 5. 5 times 2, 10. 5 times 1, 5 plus 1, 6. 5 times 5, 25. 2 remaining. 5 times 1, 5 plus 2, 7. Add it together. You get this much. 22,680. Here 2 places you have to keep. So the decimal point comes here. So what's the value? This is in rupees. So you get 226,800 rupees. Question number 2. If the price of a television set imported from Japan is 12,500 yen, what is its value in Sri Lankan rupees? So we need the conversion between yens and Sri Lankan rupees. So we'll look at it. 1 yen is how much? We need to look at the table. Yen worth 1.33 rupees. 1.33 rupees. So we need for 12,500 yen. So 1.33 multiplied by 12,500. So what we do? Put 2 zeros and multiply by 125. So 133 multiplied by 125. 120 and 5. So multiply by 1. Here multiply by 2 and 5. 5 times 3, 15. 5 times 3, 15 plus 1, 16. And 5 times 1, 5 plus 1, 6. When you add it, you get 16, 6 and 1. So 1, 6, 6, 2, 5 and here 2 places we need to keep. So what's the value? This is 16,625 rupees. Question number 3. A monthly allowance of 2,500 sterling pounds is given to a scholarship student engaged in further studies in Great Britain. How much is this amount in Sri Lankan rupees? So we need to know the conversion. 1 sterling pound is how much rupees? We'll look at the table. So what's the price? 1 sterling pound is 185.90. 185. 185.90. Now we need for 2,500 sterling pounds. So what we do? You take the value and multiply by 2,500. So what we do here? How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. Here 3 zeros. You need to multiply this by 25. 185.90 multiplied by 25. 20 and 5. 2 times 0, 18. 10 plus 1, 11. 2 times 8, 16 plus 1, 17. 2 times 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 5 times 0, 0. 5 times 9, 45. 5 times 5, 25 plus 4, 29. 5 times 8, 40 and 2, 42. 5 times 1, 5. 5 plus 4, 9. When you add it, you get 17, 4, 16 and 4. So what's the value here? When you take this number here. So here I took 0 twice. So I'll take off this 0 because I put 0 for this. Now what's the value? 4, 6, 4, 7, 5. And how many decimals? 2 places to the left. So what's the value? 4, 6, 4, 7, 5, 0. How you read that? 464,750 rupees. A sports equipment in a duty-free shop is worth 750 euros. How many Sri Lankan rupees have to be paid to purchase it? So you need to know the conversion between euro and Sri Lankan rupee. So what's the conversion? Euro and Sri Lankan rupees 160 and 60. 160 and 60. 160 and 60. Then you need for 750 euros. So 160 and 60 multiplied by 750. Put 2 zeros and then multiply by 75. 160, 60 multiplied by 75. 70 and 5, 0, 42. 42 here, 7 times 1, 7 plus 4, 11. 5 times 0, 0. 5 times 6, 30. 5 times 6, 30. 3 remaining. 5 times 1, 5 plus 3, 8. When you add it, you get this. Now we need to take this value here. 0 I have already taken, so we'll take this 0 out. So what's the value? 1, 2, 0, 4, 5, 0. Now put 2 zeros, 2 decimal places to the left. 2 places to the left, so you have to keep it here. So what's the value? 1, 2, 0, 4, 5, 0 rupees. So how you read that value? 120,450 rupees. Question number 5. A pilgrim who travels to India converts 56,000 Sri Lankan rupees into Indian rupees. How many Indian rupees does he receive? So what's the conversion rate? So we know that 1 Indian rupee is 2.26 Sri Lankan rupees. So now we need 56,000 rupees. We need to find out how many Indian rupees are there. So we'll start from this side. So 2.26 Sri Lankan rupees is 1 Indian rupee. So we need 56,000 rupees. So 1 divided by 2.26 into 56,000. Now multiply by 100. So you get 56000. Put 2 zeros and divide by 226. We'll divide. 1. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divide by 226. This is 2. 2 times 6, 12. 1 remaining. So 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 2 times 2, 4. Now subtract. You get 8, 0 and 1. So 1080. How many 226 are there? Multiply by 5. It's too much. So 4. 4 times 6, 24. 4 times 2, 8 plus 2, 10. 4 times 2, 8 plus 1, 9. Subtract. You get 776. Now take 1 0. So 1 0 here. So 1760. 7. We'll check with 8 or 7. If this is 8, 48. It's too big. So that's 7. 7 times 6, 42. 4 remaining. 7 times 2, 14. 14 plus 4, 80. 1 remaining. 7 times 2, 14 plus 1, 15. So we'll subtract 8 and 9. 9 plus 7, 16. This is 6 plus 1, 7. Now we'll take this 0, 1780. Again, this is 7. 7 times 6, 42. 4 remaining. So 7 times 2, 14. 14 plus 4, 18. 1 remaining. 7 times 2, 14 plus 1, 15. Now subtract. You get 8 and here 9 plus 9, 18. So here 1 remaining, 6, 1. So 198. And when you take another 0, so how many times? So you can get 8. 8 times 6, 48. 4 remaining. 8 times 2, 16 plus 4, 22 remaining. 8 times 2, 16 plus 2, 18. Now subtract. 7, 1. So 172. So again roughly 7. Now you have to take a decimal point. This is roughly 7. 7 times 6. We found out. What's the value? 158 for 1720. So 1582. So we'll take up to 1 decimal place. So what's the value? So the value is, this is in which currency? We are finding in Indian rupee. So this value is this one for Indian rupees. So 24778.7. 24,778 and 70 cents Indian rupees. Question number 6. How many Singapore dollars are received when ready-made garments worth 600,880 are exported from Sri Lanka to Singapore? So you need to know the conversion. So what's the conversion? Singapore dollars here. 107.30. So 107.30 rupees is 1 Singapore dollar. Now they ask if this is 600,880 rupees, how many Singapore dollars are there? So you have to divide by 107.3. 600, 880. Now we can multiply by 10. So put a 0 there. 600, 880 and we'll put a 0. This divide by 1,000. This is divide by 1,073. So here this is like 5. 5 times 3, 15. 1 remaining. 5 times 7, 35 plus 1, 36. 3 remaining. And 5 times 1, 5. When you subtract, what you get? So 10 minus 6, 4. 9 minus 3, 6. So 8 you can take. For 6,438, is this 6? Yeah, we can take 6. 6 times 3, 80. 1 remaining. 6 times 7, 42 plus 1, 43 and 6. So exactly divisible. And then you need 2 zeros there. So what's the value? 5,600. This is Singapore dollars. So you can write 5,600 Singapore dollars. So we covered all theory related to direct proportions. So you need to identify what are direct proportions. When one quantity increases, the other also increases, or one quantity decreases, the other also decreases, we call those are direct proportions. So we can use any method to solve direct proportion questions. We can find for unity value and find the ratio, or you can use the equation method or the multiplication method using the diagram. And then we discuss about exchange rates. So practice all the exercises and examples and thorough with direct proportions.